Palworld 1.0 is just but a few days away. And with that, I do plan on starting up a new world, completely from scratch. That means no carryovers, everything is in default settings, and everything I'll do will be contained within the new 1.0 world that I will make. It'll be like a completely new experience for me. You know, as if I'm playing the game for the first time again. With that being said, I would love to take a look at the things that I was able to accomplish in my old world. I made lots of wonderful gaming memories in that world, and while I won't be deleting that save, I of course won't be spending as much time on it as I would in my new 1.0 world. So before that happens, I would just love to take a look around it. You know, see the bases that I've made in a pre-1.0 Palpagus Island. Do note that it's been a couple months already since I've voluntarily halted playing Palworld in preparation for the 1.0, so I'm not entirely sure where I have been last, but I guess we'll just find that out once we jump into the game. Oh, I guess I was last in Sakurajima. There's a huge world tree, guys. Oh yeah, we're gonna be conquering that come July 10th. Oh, hang on. Let me just get that for now. I guess I didn't need my pals after all. Okay. Okay, we'll explore the Sakurajima base later, but for now, let's start with the... well, let's begin with the one that started it all, yeah? Okay. As you can see, I have mapped out the entirety of my world, all the way to the ocean borders, over here. Right, back to my very first base. Oh, I also didn't realize that I have the minimap on. Hang on. I'll just turn that off for a while. Okay, I've now disabled the minimap for now. I'll turn that on in a later date. Honestly, I'll probably just remove it when the update comes. Alright, let's get some light in here first. Righto, so this over here is the current state of my very first base. Obviously, this isn't what it looked like when I started the game. It's pretty much just a rundown shack, a couple beds. In fact, these two beds right here, these are one of the first structures I've ever placed down in this world. I would remove them because, you know, nostalgia. This base did go through several revisions. I believe I've taken screenshots of them. I guess I'll just put them up if I ever find those screenshots. Right, so I guess we should just explore what's currently here now. Oh yeah, the reason there's like very few pals right now is because I did try to make a few renovations a while back, and I pretty much recalled all of the pals that were working here. I'll still show them to you. They're in my pal box. I guess I haven't really fully put them back here. Anyway, don't mind the clutter. Right, so oh wait, I think I remember why I put them away now. They're kind of not doing their jobs for some reason. I think their AI is bugged out. Anyway, let's bring them back for now. We can have a peaceful tour. Anyway, these are the pals that were working in my base. What the? Why are you guys still here? Oh, here. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, there should be no one to disturb us now. Right, so let's start with the PAL box itself. This is where I placed my very first PAL box. I believe I placed my first bed right over here, along with the wood foundation and, you know, roof and everything. And then I believe I placed like 3 beds here actually. These are the only 2 that survived that time. Yeah, so these are perhaps the oldest structures that I've placed here. Frankly, I kind of regret placing this PAL box here because, well, obviously at the time I didn't know about the bounding boxes, about the places where the pals will spawn. So when you put down pals here, yeah, they just spawn. They just spawn in the most inconvenient places. Let my foxgle go. Speaking of which, I can't believe this one has no name yet. Usually I have names for all my pals. I'll show you again later. Okay, over here is the... Well, this is one of the storage areas. I guess I should call this the general storage area. This is where I placed my wooden house before, in the earlier parts of my game. Yeah, this is where I placed my wooden house. I eventually placed my bed and all that kind of stuff. But right now, I pretty much remove. Well, as you can see, I removed the house. I actually moved it over there, but I've also removed it since, and I don't think I have any beds in this base right now, or at least regular beds. I can still sleep in the PAL beds if I like. Right, so what do we have in here? Right, this is where I keep my whistles. Pals keep putting other stuff in here. You can see all my gear, the things I've collected. They should not be here. Yeah, all's good. The technique books over here. The completed slabs. And my training manuals. And this is where I put all the stuff that I gathered from, you know, explorations and all that. So over here is where I cook my cakes. Well, not exclusively cakes. This is also where I cook the meals for the PAL feeder over here. Okay, we still got lots of salad and some backup berries, which is nice. This is where I keep my skill tree farms. I think before this is where I put the what do you call that? The freaking saunas. Yeah, that's where I put it. Oh yes, you see these palisades right here? Yeah, these are also one of the oldest structures I've placed in the world. These have been here since like the inception, like the world's inception. I initially placed them here to ward off raids because those things keep constantly happening. I since turned off the raids. Like, my base pals couldn't keep up with the levels. Man, I do hope they fix that. Also over here is... It's actually not just any wooden hut. This is where I used to grapple hook into my base. See this? Yep. In my early levels, that's how we got around. And that was before the time we had these jump pads right here. Yeah, and remember when I said I had my wooden house over here? I also made a grappling hook station over there, which is basically just a foundation hanging over, and that's where I grapple when I need to go up real quick. Okay, so you've seen this already. This is the well, I call this the Pal offering area. You have the statue of Anubis over here and the heater over here. This, I believe, is my original storage area. These were originally just the wooden boxes you acquire early on, and I've since upgraded them, of course. I just put whatever here. Yeah. Oh, this particular chest I put like the PAL components you can gather. I do have some stuff I need to sort. Hang on. Right, back to the tour. Now this is where I keep my farms. I don't remember what I used to put here. But yeah, this place also went through several revisions. And yeah, it's thanks to these diagonal walls, I was able to make it even better now. Of course, I'm gonna have to redo this again once the full release drops. Right, this is just decoration right here. Noah's one of the pals I captured. Don't mind this. This is just base decoration. No one really goes here. Now this is where I keep my factories. Well, where I used to keep my factories. I've since transferred my operations to the Fabric base, and that's practically where I live now. Oh, here's the bed. I guess I did put some bed here. Anyway, this is yet another storage area. This time, this is where I kept my equipment. Yep, these are all equipment that I've used throughout this playthrough. All of these are really old creations. I've never used them since, but you know, they're just there for decoration, for display. I don't know if we'll get armor stands in the update, but yeah, hope we get something that we can use to display our old items. Over here is where I keep my skill fruits. Got a good collection of them right here. And what do I keep here? I guess just random stuff. Yeah, honestly, I don't know what's. I guess I just needed another extra storage space, so I just put that there. Down here is where I keep the blueprints. I tried to sort them by rarity and what type of armor they are. Here we keep a blueprint crafting table. Yeah, that's where my global PAL box is. I think that's a good placement right there. Over here is where I keep my ranch. It's kind of finicky right now. Pals usually can't reach it. Yeah, maybe I'll have to redo this entire area too. I really wanted this base to be like very accessible to both me and the pals, but it is kind of hard to do sometimes, especially when trying to make it like a very compact space. Speaking of compact space, I am kind of using a
base area extender mod right now, so the blue circle is much farther than what it is originally. But I think with what I've made so far, you can see where the original boundary is, because I really pushed this area to the limits. Alright, this is where the bat area is for the pals. Basically the relaxation area. We got a TV over here. We got yeah, we got the Japanese style saunas here now. I'm really thankful they added these fences. Because before I was using like those what do you call that? These things. I was using these things as like fencing, which is not really the most ideal one. Okay, what else? What else needs showing here? Oh yeah, in this area I used to put my my egg incubators. Yeah, the original base area only goes up here. You will practically see like the blue line here originally, and so I kind of just slapped down the incubators in this particular garden area. I don't know. I think it, for me, it just fits. You know, kind of like a Zen garden area. What else needs to be shown here? Oh yeah, the PAL living quarters. Yeah, it's just basically this. 4 large beds and 6 of these medium-sized quality beds. We got more down here. Funnily enough, these beds aren't considered sleepable because apparently there's no roof. I don't know why that happens. This one's for just for decoration. It serves no practical function, and it doesn't really have any ammo. No one's pretty much assigned there. You know, let's take a look at it from a bird's eye view. Hang on. Bring out my jet dragon if I could find it. And my PAL box needs some serious cleaning. I wonder if my jet dragon is somewhere else. Oh wait, fuck. That's not how I meant it to be used. Hang on. Righto. Lyra's gotta go there for now. Right. There you have it, my first base. Look at that. Quite beautiful, isn't she? Right, so this one is just a slide. I use it like a ramp. I stay up there and then go slide all the way over there to that jutting rock. That's all I can really go. It's far from. Maybe I could still go farther if I use exploits. But good enough for my purposes. Right, so what else needs to be shown? I think I've pretty much shown everything here. Yeah, let's move on to the next base. Okay, we've just woken up a brand new day at my next base. Which is located near the Anubis world encounter. Yeah, this base is pretty much just a place for me to store my pals. Or the pals that how do I explain it? I guess this PAL storage is mostly used for the parents that I've used. Also, my storage for all the Yakumos that I could ever need. Yeah, I've been collecting most of these. Yeah, all of these are parents that I've used to create my some of my best pals. Some of them I've given names. some of them now, but yeah, so that's the primary function of this base. Actually used to be before the update that introduced this thing. There's like so much cages over here. So much so that whenever I go here it just freaking lags. Like whenever you go here the lag is insane. That's just how many how many pals I got stored here. Also there's Grisbolt and Zoe just chilling. Anyway, now that we've got the space for it, I pretty much just turned this into like a resort house or something. Oh, and this is also where I put my expedition and stuff. It used to be in the Sakurajima base, but it kind of didn't fit there, so I really struggled to find a proper place for it. Thankfully I was able to build it like this. It is still kind of wonky, but you know, whatever works. And yeah, we just came from inside here. This is the rest house I built for myself. Nothing real special here. Just a bunch of decorations. Put my wigs over here. Practically this is the place where I change my outfit whenever I want to. Okay, what else needs to be shown here? Nothing's going on up there. I'm not sure what I'm planning to put here, actually. I think I do have a plan for something. I've just forgotten what it is. Anyway, nothing's going on up there. We got 2 fishing spots. Or I think 3. Oh, we got a visitor. Yeah, we got 3 fishing spots, I guess. Oh, it's this guy. Hello, hello.
Hey. Oh, I'm not some suspicious person. Just, yes, that's right. A gourmet hunter. Traveling the lands. You always eat the same thing, don't you? So here, take this. Don't get all grateful or anything. Don't get the wrong idea. I'm not worried about you or anything. It's just that if you die in front of me, it'll give me bad dreams, okay?
Sure. Okay, I think that's it for this base. Let's head over to the next one. Okay, so there's a bit of a time skip between the last recording and this one. There was some stuff that I had to do yesterday, so I was able to continue recording the base tour. And yeah, I'm not even done with what the shit I'm doing. I'm a little worse for wear today too, so you'll forgive me if I'm a little bit off. Anyway, let's continue the tour. Right, so welcome to my Sakurajima base, aka my breeding base, or at least my current one. Okay, let's start with my living quarters. Hello, Dr. Braun. Yeah, this is my quaint little bedroom. This is where I keep my stuff. Alright, now here's a bunch of eggs that... Yeah, these eggs have been around for... I don't know, they've been around since... Yes, even since before the Bellanor raid update. So they've been here for a long time. And I actually plan to open them once 1.0 releases, just to see what the hell is in there. They're like a time capsule. Eggs from the early access launch period. You know, this is where I manage the base basically. Got a portable power box here, the statue. This is also where I can change the skin of the pals. And another station where I can edit my appearances. I believe this is, yeah, this is where I pretty much use the materials to change my appearance. Right now I'm actually kind of using the highest tier of armor. But I made it so it looks like one of the, it look like this, the outfit. I don't know, I kind of like this one. Okay, so this is one of the breeding facilities here. As you can see, we got Dr. Braun in his desk. We got a PAL surgery table and the condenser. And another storage. And this is... well, this is one of the breeding pens. I've actually converted this into a Alaska farm. So that's where you get my corals. The back of my house is pretty much just decorations and stuff. But over here is... yeah, this is where I keep my this assembly conveyor. Oh yeah. Now down here is where the rest of the workforce are. Here at the center we got the feeder. Over here at the side we have the rest of the breeding pens. Right now it's currently inactive. I just forgot to put away these two. Alright, let me introduce you to Ryan Gosling. He's one of my greatest creations. Just look at him. Isn't he the very image of perfection? Yeah, I pretty much named him Ryan Gosling because he's just like me, for real, for real. Okay, so over here's the PAL living quarters. As you can see, there's a bunch of beds here. I intentionally left this one open for, you know, to let some air in. Down here, we got the oil rigs. Or the oil extractors, rather. I know there's like an exploit where you can put two nodes in one. But I never really bothered with that. Maybe in the new world I'll be making for 1.0, I'll try it out. But yeah. And over here is my money making machine. There's a bunch of mouse here. There we go. You were supposed to be on guard duty. And apart from Ryan Gosling, we got two other guards for this breeding base. We have Karnaka. He's our Incineram Knock guard. And we have Senti. Yay! Yeah, these two are the first of their kind that I was able to catch, and you know they kind of stuck with me. I don't use them for combat anymore, so I just have them guard my bases. Okay, so I mentioned previously that I placed my expedition facility in the Sakurajima base, and yeah, this is where I actually put it first, but it was kind of inconvenient with it being here. I couldn't even place some of my structures here when it was still operating in the Sakurajima base, so I just ended up moving it to my PAL storage base when it was convenient. Now, if you notice that this is the heating mechanism of my PAL quarters. So yeah, this is basically my my current breeding base. This also underwent some major changes in the past, culminating what you see now. I know, not very I know it's not as good as most of the bases you see online, but it is what it is. I did make some mistakes in building this base, and right now I'm kind of not in the mood to, you know, rectify all of it. Maybe once I get back to this save, I'll do something about it. Hopefully I'll get some new options that I can work with in 1.0. Okay, I believe that's it for this base. Let's go to my final active base in the save, which is my fabric base. Okay, we're now approaching my fabric base. I believe this is the last base that I've set up and the one that I was focusing on before I temporarily stopped playing. As you can see, it's a little bit more ambitious than some of my previous bases, because this time I really tried to make something grand. I'll show you all of it in a bird's eye view later, but for now let's explore it in detail. Right, so this building I'm looking at right now are the workstations, basically. Now this is the operations that I've moved from my first base up to here in my fabric base. Yeah, these are all the conveyor belts that I use to make my gear and stuff. These ones, they don't really see much use. I just put them here for decorative purposes, but sometimes I do use them. Here's my crusher. See what I can get. Someone will be here to attend to it shortly. This here is the synthetic materials that I use for crafting. I just put them in this cabinet right here. Here's the medicine rack. I don't really see this used often, so it's pretty much just here for decoration at the moment. But you know, it could serve a purpose later on. Now over on the other side are the mines, basically. Okay, down here are the hexalite quartz mines. Definitely need those. This here are my resources storage, and over on the top is the coal and stone mines. Oh, hang on. Okay, these three storages, they're just temporary. I used to have like a library down here where I kept my blueprints, and I guess I haven't transferred these yet to the new ones that I'll be showing you later. And here is the furnace. Is this the only furnace on the base right now? I can't... Yeah, I think that's the only furnace at this base right now. Now this door leads to nowhere really. It's just a little thing that I added when I was building the base. You know, just to fill some space, I guess. Which ironically has nothing on it. Okay, so crossing this overpass, we have the PAL living quarters, complete with skyline. Here's a balcony where you can see everything going on down there. And over here is a door that leads to my own living quarters. Very barren at the moment, but I was planning to put more decorations here. Not entirely sure what new decorations will be in the new update, but if there are any interesting ones, I'll be putting them in this room for sure. And yeah, this is quite possibly my permanent room for this world. I kind of like how I did it, overlooking the grand staircase. And speaking of which, this is the grand staircase, complete with Anubis statues. Okay, over to the right wing of the castle. It's just more beds, really. They even made a tower up here once the update with diagonal walls arrived. That was a godsend, by the way. Now, down here on the first floor, we got some interesting structures. Here is the mess hall that I made. Virtually functionless. Nothing's really here. Just looks good. That's where I keep my ammo for the time being. I think that storage is still temporary as well. Alright, so remember the library I told you earlier? Yeah, this is the new one that I made. The previous one was a bit messy, and it doesn't really fit the overall aesthetic, but now it does. We have the librarian's table right here, and all of these will have some I really need to... Oh shit. Hang on. Yeah, I really need to configure all these. God damn it. One moment, I'm gonna go deal with this. Alright, sorry for the technical difficulty earlier. Yeah, as I was saying, I need to configure all these bookshelves so it doesn't accommodate other materials. Anyway, that's about it for this place. Now over on the other side is the armory. I have the item conveyor over here. Yeah, all of these contain most of the gear that I use. Yeah, this is my current loadout, very different from the one in my first base. And this also happens to be the one area that I've kind of spent some time decorating as well. This chest is just for decoration as well. Over here, I haven't decided yet what to put here. I don't know, maybe another furnace, probably. I mean, it looks like I can put this here. Yeah, this one. See that? I like how it says it overlaps another structure. Is anyone coming to help or anything? Well, Flannan is willing to help at least. Is there no one else that can help me with this? Hang on. I'm doing a little bit of a side quest here, but we'll get back to the tour shortly. And is it really this few pals over here? And I need to add more pals. Let's just assist Flannan for now. I was so sure I have more pals working in this base. Where did I put all those? Okay, there we go. Good job planning. Now will this be used a lot? I don't know. Okay, so outside, what do we have? Oh, we have the rest area, I guess. Yeah, thanks to the new building materials added in the Home Sweet Home update, I was able to make this really good looking rest area, complete with saunas. As you can see, a lot of my pals are having their Z's over here. And then over in the exterior, I've created some filler structures like this gazebo and that watchtower. I actually was planning to put the one with gun over here, but it just didn't fit, so I had to settle for this sandbag instead. Okay, so this sign denotes the original base border size. Ever since I added a mod that expands it a little bit, it's now extended to over here. Yeah, as you can probably tell, this base used to be surrounded by a complete set of stone walls. But ever since I had to renovate it, I had to tear down some of them. And I wasn't able to complete it since. I was like planning to add another tier of floor over here. I'm not sure if that's even possible at the moment. I think it is. I just have to figure out how to place the workstations. That is very accessible. So this is what my base looks like from up in the air. I was planning to make it castle-like in its appearance, as you can see with the tower. I was probably gonna add another spire over here once I completed what I needed for this area. But yeah, what inspired me to do this is basically this dirt path over here. I kind of want to I wanted to have a base that has a path like this going through it. So I came up with the idea that there should be like a bridge connecting two structures. It's kind of hard to do. Okay, I think I've pretty much shown everything that I need to show in this base. There's nothing else here really. That being said, I am kind of proud of what I've made with this one. I know there's still better looking structures out there. Way better than what I have, but hey. Still, I built this with my own hands. I'm kind of proud of it. Yeah, I guess with that, it concludes my Daybreak base tour, as well as my pre-1.0 world tour. Okay, so what I've shown you so far are the bases that I have in my world currently. But of course, this has been a world that's been long running. And I've built some bases that no longer exist in the world now. I've pretty much well, they pretty much got, they pretty much became obsolete as time went on. So I tore them down and transferred them to the bases you have seen now. However, while they don't physically exist in the world anymore, I do still have some pictures of them that I can show you, so they won't get left behind in the showcase. Right, so this one shows the area where I placed my very first base expansion over here in this section of the Golden Hills, which also served as my very first mining operation. Now, sadly, this is the only remaining screenshot of that area that I have or I was able to find among my files, which is a damn shame because I'm pretty damn sure I was able to build this area up considerably. Well, certainly more than just the torches, the beds, and the the PAL box here. The cutie pie you see me holding here in this picture is the first flambell that I got, I believe, which I have called Mooney. I actually don't remember if she was rescued or captured, but either way, I know that she was my first flambell, and she's a cutie pie. This next one is the second mining base that I've plopped down, and I believe you guys will be familiar with this spot right here because back in the early days of Palworld, this has been a really coveted base spot considering the amount of ores and coal that it has in one area that can be encapsulated by the, you know, the big blue circle. As you can see in this footage, some foundation still remains to this day on that spot. I never really chose to remove those foundations because I kind of want to leave something behind, you know, some sort of mark that I've been there before. And here are the screenshots that I've been able to take of that base. And again, it's a damn shame that these are the only ones that I could find because there had been one major upgrade to this base before I had to tear it down and transfer all my mining operations to the Fabric base. I also had a smaller mining base in the Desolate Church in the Autumn Rocks area, the one where Zoe is in right now, the one where you can find Zoe in. I unfortunately do not have any screenshots of this as it is a very small base and I never really paid much attention to it, so yeah. But I did mark it on the map. You can see here in the picture there's a pickaxe on it. Yeah, that's pretty much where I set up my base before. It's just a small base, but it is still one of my bases nonetheless, so I'm including it here. So for this next one, I have set up a base in Icewind Island, which served as my first breeding base back before I transferred it all to the Sakurajima base. Later in its life, it also became the test bed for the new raid bosses back when the Bellinor raid boss first released. I had practically no idea what that entailed, so as you can imagine, the damage to the base was very significant. I'd learned my lesson since then. But yeah, here are some of the screenshots that I took of that base. You can take a look at them. It is a very small base that I tried to decorate. It even has a fancy guard tower with turrets and everything. It also was made with a maximum security prison style in mind. I assume you can imagine why. But yeah, this was my base on Icewind Island. It was a long-lasting base, but eventually I did have to move it somewhere else, which is the Sakurajima base. So the last one that I will be showing you also happens to be in Sakurajima. The base that I've showcased here in the video was actually my second Sakurajima base. The first one was rather small and was located in the mushroom wetlands, here as indicated on the map. I quickly set that base up because I was kind of finding a proper place to have some extractors for oil, and that was the first place that I found that's near to my other bases, which seems to serve that purpose. So I plopped down my base and tested out the extractors in this area right here. when I set up my second Sakurajima base, I moved all my stuff from the wetlands base to my current one, and I haven't really tore down every all the foundations in that base, so it's still there right now. It's actually been taken over by the by the local fauna. You can sometimes see those mushroom heads just spawning there on top of the building sometimes. I find it kind of cute. Really? Yeah, nothing much to show here. Just wanted to highlight this first Sakurajima base that I had before I moved it to the other bigger one. And there you have it. A tour of my pre-1.0 world with all my bases, both past and present. Well, it obviously won't be the end of that world. I will still be returning to that after I've had my experiences on the new world I'll be creating. Once I, beat the final boss in the world tree, I'm gonna go back to that save, apply all the experiences I had, and actually beat that world as well. So it's not gonna get left behind. I'm not gonna delete it or anything, but this is going to be the last time we will see the pre-1.0 world as it is. So I just wanted to make this video for posterity, just to remember all the good times I had during the early access phase of the game. And yeah, I'm really excited for 1.0. You have no idea how this past month has been. Just waiting for the game to release. But just a few more days, boyos. We're gonna be enjoying the full release come July 10th. And if you haven't gotten Palworld yet for some reason, you better grab it now. And if you do have it or have played it since it launched, well, better prepare. Because it's gonna be big. Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video.